world champion also in this race, Haile Gebrselassie of Ethiopia. Josephat Machuka of Kenya also in the race, and he broke the championship record in the heats, no less. One of 3 Kenyans. Paul Tergat is the other Kenyan, the world cross-country champion. What a lineup this race is. In the middle of the picture there, the little man in the green with the red shorts, Haile Gebrselassie, the world record holder and world champion. Staggered start. 10 athletes are around the track, and they will break over the back straight to bring them in together, so there's no bumping and boring. Haile Gebrselassie leading the outside group, I should say. And on the inside there, I think it's Kamani. No, I'm sorry, he's just been overtaken by Anton. But it's Gebrselassie, number 445, that comes across, and Machuka there, 816, is shadowing again. These two have had battles royals in the past. I remember the World Junior Championship when they came down the home straight together. That was a battle, and I'm sure today will be no different from that.
It almost was a battle, wasn't it, Steve, with Gebrselassie sitting in behind Machuka, and then Machuka getting so frustrated when Gebrselassie out-sprinted him in the end, he almost gave him a karate chop. And German Silva of Mexico has just come round the pack into the lead, with Todd Williams of the USA following.
Well, the pace is slow. No one seems to want to take up. There's Khalid Scar there, the Olympic champion, 887, burying himself in the middle of the pack. Kenyans looking at each other. It's almost as if to say one of them has got to get out there and do some of the work. Look at that, 70 seconds for the first lap. It's pedestrian, really. There were rumours that the Kenyans were going to take it through at world record pace, but as so often happens when rumours go around, it works out the other way. Kamani there is third. The first of the Kenyans just behind him, Khalid Scar. And I think it was Machuka that just moved up onto his shoulder. But obviously Todd Williams of America has decided he doesn't like this early slow pace. It wouldn't do any of the athletes who haven't got a kick any good at all. And he's taking it out, Peter.
Yes, interesting. They don't seem to be going with him. Todd Williams stretching away, then German Silva, and then the big pack with the Kenyans and all the fancied African runners ahead of it. And it's slightly surprising to me that at this stage in the race that they're letting a man like Williams get away. He's quite a useful runner in his own right, and he's not actually running that fast. And we had that 70-second first lap, and he's probably running sort of 65-second lap pace at the moment.
And Todd Williams has been overhauled, as we thought. There it goes. That's Kamani, the Kenyan who was sent out to bring him back, and he did the job. But it was a long way into the race, as you see, some 9 minutes 40, and now it's 10:46.
It's interesting how the pace has varied. We had 2:49 first kilometre, then Todd Williams speeded it up with a 2:42, but taking it up to 3 kilometres, it slowed again in 2:48. But we have now got this group of 7 men, Steve, having broken away from the field, and it's hotting up 4,000 metres, 11:02, so 2:43 that last kilometre. So very fluctuating pace, but this is what I expected. The Kenyans now leading the way to take a sustained drive to try to burn out the kick on these men like Khalid Scar in 4th place there, Salah Hisu in 5th, Stefan Franke, the one European, holding on to these group of Africans.
That's right, and I think the sacrificial lamb, if there is one, is Kamani. He's the youngest of the Kenyans. He's out in front at the moment. He trains with Moses Kiptanui, and I think he's been told to get out there and work hard, to sacrifice himself for the other Kenyans behind, and particularly Machuka. But I wonder, really, Machuka was very, very silly, I think, really, in running so fast in his qualifying rounds. He broke the championship record. That must have taken something out of his legs. Maybe it hasn't, maybe he'll prove me wrong. But Gebrselassie there on the inside, 445, was just checking on Machuka there. In the 10,000 metres, it's Tergat now that is taking them through. Gebrselassie second, Khalid Scar, and the other Moroccan, Hisu, 4th. Well, the rhythm's picked up, Peter, I was going to say.
It certainly has, because we saw that 2:43 earlier, and then they did another 2:43, and then a 2:41, and then a 2:43 again. So this is world record type of pace, though after a very slow start, clearly they're some way back on world record schedule.
Yeah. Kamani, as I said before, The third Kenyan took the early pace, and now it seems it's Paul Turgat's time, the world cross-country champion, to try and take the sting out of the rest of the other athletes, hoping, I think, and believing that Machuka, the Kenyan at the back of that pack of 5, will take advantage of that. But at the moment, he seems to be suffering.
It's interesting, we had a group of 7 originally. Stefan Franke the first to drop off, and then also one of the Kenyans, Joseph Kimani.
That's right. But now Turgat's taking it along. There you just see Gebre Selassie putting his hand back as if to say to Khalid Skar, don't keep clipping my heels, I can't do any more, and stay behind this man Turgat. And they're starting to bunch up a bit now. Hisu has moved past his compatriot, Khalid Skar, blocking him in a little bit. Machuka, because they've started to slow, has clawed his way back. In the 10,000 metres, it's Turgat now that is taking them through. Gebre Selassie second, Khalid Skar, and the other Moroccan, Hisu, 4th. Well, the rhythm's picked up, Peter, I was going to say.
It certainly has, because we saw that 2:43 earlier, and then they did another 2:43, and then a 2:41, and then a 2:43 again. So this is world record type of pace, though after a very slow start, clearly they're some way back on world record schedule.
Yeah. Kimani, as I said before, the third Kenyan took the early pace, and now it seems it's Paul Turgat's time, the world cross-country champion, to try and take the sting out of the rest of the other athletes, hoping, I think, and believing that Machuka, the Kenyan at the back of that pack of 5, will take advantage of that. But at the moment, he seems to be suffering.
It's interesting, we had a group of 7 originally. Stefan Franke the first to drop off, and then also one of the Kenyans, Joseph Kimani.
That's right. But now Turgat's taking it along. There you just see Gebre Selassie putting his hand back as if to say to Khalid Skar, don't keep clipping my heels, I can't do any more, and stay behind this man Turgat. And they're starting to bunch up a bit now. Hisu has moved past his compatriot, Khalid Skar, blocking him in a little bit. Machuka, because they've started to slow, has clawed his way back. Lap time there, 65.32. So it's still cat and mouse. Gebre Selassie has done nothing but sit on the shoulder of the leader all through this race. The world record holder this year and the world champion. Just behind him, the Olympic champion. Machuka moves wide, 8.16. Hisu decides to take it over from the Kenyans and give them a break. But really, there's not much damage being done by this pace. Well, 2 laps to go now in the men's 10,000 metres final, and it hasn't changed much from about 4 or 5 laps. At front at the moment is Paul Turgat, the world cross-country champion. Just behind him, Salah Hisu of Morocco, and just behind him, Haile Gebre Selassie, the world record holder. And Turgat has pulled himself back into 4th with Khalid Skar 5. And you get the feeling that these 5 are building up for a very, very big last lap. No one wants to take it out too early. Everybody keeps looking at everybody else. Khalid Skar is a very fast finisher indeed. He's just coming round now, getting past Machuka, who looks around. Machuka now has been dropped. So now it's down to 4. 4 men for the 3 medals.
It's interesting, Steve. I mean, Hisu leading for the first time in the race, and everyone who takes the lead, Haile Gebre Selassie, gets onto their shoulder in 2nd place all the time, never leading himself.
Haile Gebre Selassie is a master at tactician. He never ever leads in any race unless he has to. He's looking around, checking where the Kenyans are. Machuka has gone. Turgat's clawed himself back to 4th, but I think the big danger is going to be Khalid Skar. Hisu knows he hasn't got a kick, that's why he's taking it up. Gebre Selassie moves on his shoulder, just covering any break. Khalid Skar has got his mind and eyes set on the back of Haile Gebre Selassie. When is someone going to go? 250 metres to the line. Hisu still holding Gebre Selassie off. Khalid Skar just behind. Gebre Selassie has gone. My word, he's shot ahead. He's pouring it on around the top bend. This is a 10,000 metre come sprinter. Look at the gap he's opening up on Khalid Skar and Turgat. It's 20 yards, 25 yards. Soaring away from the rest of the field, and the others are sprinting too. Scar gets second, Turgat the silver, the bronze.
Steve, I can scarcely believe my watch. Gebre Selassie has covered the last 200 metres in 25.1. That's faster than Wilson Kipketer sprinted to do the last 200 metres in the 800 metres.
And look at the winning time, a championship record, 27:12.94. It wasn't a slow race. Well, this man is unbelievable. To be able to sprint like that at the end of what really is a world-class time and a world-class field just shows you the calibre. Maris Yifter was the only man I've seen behave like that in a race, and he came from Ethiopia. Now they've churned out another man in the same mould. Haile Gebre Selassie really is quite superb at the moment at 10,000 metres, sprinting faster than most other men in any of the other track finals over that last 200.
And there's the result. Haile Gebre Selassie, 27 minutes, 12.95. A Moroccan record for Khalid Scar when he took the silver medal. Personal best for Turgat Nhisu, and a wonderful standard race.